A single leaf. Small, unassuming, often overlooked in the garden or brushed aside as a weed. Yet inside it lies the power to soothe aching joints, calm persistent inflammation, and sharpen memory well into our later years. For many people over 60, these benefits sound like wishful thinking. After all, by this age, most have accepted the slow stiffness in their knees, the soreness in their hands, or the occasional mental fog as just part of getting older. But here's the truth. Much of what we think is inevitable aging is actually our body sending quiet, urgent warnings, warnings that we can do something about. Do you wake up with aches that fade but never disappear? Do stairs seem steeper than they used to? Does your mind sometimes lose the thread of a thought mid-sentence? These are not just harmless signs of age. They are clues, pointing to three invisible enemies slowly at work in the body: chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and cellular decline. Chronic inflammation is the silent ember that never dies down, constantly smoldering under the surface. Unlike the sharp swelling of an injury, this slow burn quietly weakens tissues, stiffens joints, and drains your energy day after day. Oxidative stress is the invisible rust of the body. Over decades, unstable molecules called free radicals slowly damage cells, clouding memory, aging skin, and even weakening the heart and brain. And cellular decline? That's when the body's natural repair systems slow down. Wounds heal more slowly, digestion weakens, and energy never quite returns, even after rest. Poor diet, lack of movement, and over-reliance on processed foods only make it worse. I remember a 67-year-old patient who came into my clinic certain she was losing her mind. Her knees ached, her energy was gone, and her memory was slipping. After testing, we found her brain was fine. The real problem was her body's inflammation and nutrient depletion. What turned her health around wasn't a drug or surgery, but a single, overlooked leaf she'd walked past hundreds of times without knowing its worth. Before science could explain it, ancient wisdom understood this truth. The earth gives us what we need to heal. The remedies aren't locked in laboratories. They grow in gardens, fields, and wild corners of the world. And among them is a particular leaf, modest in appearance, but remarkable in what it can do for aging joints, aching muscles, and fading memory. This is Oropronobis, a plant so rich in protein, minerals, and antioxidants that it's been called nature's green meat. And in the next part, I'll reveal exactly how it works, the science behind its healing power, and how to use it in your daily meals to protect your strength, your memory, and your independence. I remember a 74-year-old patient, Margaret, who told me she had stopped going to church because the stairs were too much for her knees. 3 weeks after adding Oropronobis tea to her mornings, she walked up those same steps without clinging to the rail, her eyes filling with tears because she realized she had almost given up on something she loved. Stories like hers are a reminder that the little things we ignore today can grow into the reasons we lose pieces of our lives tomorrow. That is what makes low-grade inflammation so dangerous. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It just chips away at you until one day you can't do what you took for granted the day before. Beyond its effect on inflammation, Oropronobis is rich in antioxidants that protect your cells from the kind of invisible damage that accelerates aging. Inside your body, unstable molecules called free radicals are constantly trying to erode your tissues. They act like rust on metal, slowly weakening your joints, your muscles, and even the delicate pathways in your brain. The antioxidants in this plant work like an internal repair crew, neutralizing those harmful molecules before they can cause lasting harm. This is not just about feeling better now. It's about protecting your body from the inside so you can still recognize faces, recall names, and enjoy your independence years from now. Then there's its protein content, something older adults often overlook until it's too late. After 60, your body loses muscle at a faster rate, a condition called sarcopenia. Many people try to fight it with meat or eggs, but digestion becomes less efficient with age, and those heavy proteins don't always get absorbed properly. Oropronobis offers a plant-based protein that's easier to digest, yet still contains all the essential amino acids your body needs to rebuild muscle. Stronger muscles mean better balance, fewer falls, and the power to keep doing everyday tasks without help. I once worked with a man named Harold, 71, who had started avoiding long walks because his legs felt weak and unsteady. He feared falling more than anything else. Within 2 months of adding Oropronobis leaves to his soups and smoothies, he noticed he could walk farther without stopping. It wasn't magic. It was simply his body finally getting the raw materials it needed to repair and strengthen itself. That kind of turnaround can mean the difference between living in your own home or moving into assisted living before you're ready. For the mind, Oropronobis delivers something even more precious. Its blend of amino acids, magnesium, and plant compounds nourishes the brain's neural pathways, helping signals travel faster and memories stay sharper. It won't turn back the clock completely, but it can slow the slide. I've seen older adults who could barely recall a conversation from the morning before start remembering details again after making this plant part of their routine. When you realize that keeping your memory means keeping your dignity, you understand why this matters so deeply. Using it is simpler than most people imagine. You can brew it into a tea by adding fresh or dried leaves to hot water and letting it steep. You can saute it lightly like spinach and add it to eggs, soups, or stir-fries. You can even blend it into a smoothie with fruit for a drink that tastes more like a treat than a remedy. The flavor is mild, so it doesn't overpower other ingredients, which makes it easy to slip into whatever you already eat. The key is consistency. A single cup of tea won't erase years of damage, but adding it to your routine several times a week can quietly and steadily rebuild your body's defenses. The people who see the most benefit are the ones who treat it as part of their lifestyle, not just an experiment. And pairing it with healthy fats like olive oil or nuts can help your body absorb its nutrients even more effectively. Some people will hear this and still think, I'll get around to it later. But later is when the stiffness becomes pain, when the mild forgetfulness turns into confusion, when climbing the stairs becomes impossible. Nature offers solutions, but only to those willing to act before the damage is done. Oropronobis is not a miracle. It's an opportunity. And opportunities vanish if you wait too long to take them. I've watched patients who once believed they were on an unstoppable decline regain the strength to garden again, return to hobbies they'd abandoned, and even travel without fear of exhaustion. All it took was recognizing that the body, even after 60, still has the power to heal if you give it the right tools. This leaf is one of those tools, and it's far too valuable to ignore. For those who can't find Oropronobis where they live, there are still powerful alternatives that can protect the body in similar ways. Ginger leaves, for example, are often overlooked in favor of the root, but both contain compounds that fight inflammation and improve circulation. Just adding a few leaves to a pot of tea can help ease muscle soreness and reduce the swelling that makes joints stiff in the morning. I've seen people who could barely bend their fingers at breakfast regain enough flexibility to hold a coffee mug without pain by simply drinking ginger tea daily for a few weeks. Then there's turmeric, a deep golden spice that's been trusted for centuries. It contains curcumin, one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatories known. The trick is pairing it with black pepper and a bit of healthy fat, which can multiply its absorption in the body. I've had patients stir it into warm milk before bed or sprinkle it on roasted vegetables, and within days, they often notice their joints feel less tender and their movements smoother. Bay leaves might seem like nothing more than flavoring for soups and stews, but when brewed into a tea, they can ease bloating, support digestion, and reduce aches linked to inflammation. One woman in her late 60s told me she drank bay leaf tea every evening, and within a month she was sleeping through the night without waking from discomfort in her hips and lower back. The avocado leaf is another hidden treasure. When simmered in water, it releases natural compounds that act as a gentle diuretic, helping reduce swelling in the feet and legs while calming overactive nerves. I remember a man who had been waking several times a night from restless legs. After 2 weeks of sipping avocado leaf tea before bed, he reported sleeping straight through until morning for the first time in years. These plants aren't exotic, and they don't require expensive supplements or complicated recipes. They're often already in your kitchen or growing nearby. The challenge isn't finding them, it's deciding to use them consistently before the discomfort becomes part of your daily life. Too many people wait until pain is severe or memory loss is obvious before they act. By then, recovery is harder, slower, and sometimes impossible. One of the most powerful reminders of this came from a woman named Elsa, who came to see me at 68. She carried herself with the kind of quiet resignation that comes from years of trying and failing to feel better. Her joints ached unpredictably, her energy was gone by mid-afternoon, and she was starting to forget small but important things, like whether she had taken her medication. She had drawers full of pills, creams, and supplements, none of which had made much difference. We started small: Oropronobis in her morning juice, turmeric in her soup at lunch, ginger in her tea before bed. She didn't believe much would change, but she agreed to give it one more try. Within a month, her swelling had gone down, her mornings were easier, and she found herself humming while cooking, something she hadn't done in years. By the third month, she was walking to the bakery again, sewing gifts for her grandchildren, and laughing without the shadow of pain behind her smile. Elsa's transformation wasn't a miracle. It was the result of steady, patient care and the decision to believe in the possibility of improvement. Nature provided the tools, but she had to take the first step. Her story is proof that even after years of decline, your body can surprise you, but only if you give it the chance. When you choose to nourish yourself with what nature offers, you're not just treating symptoms. You're rebuilding from the inside out. That means stronger joints, clearer thinking, steadier balance, and the confidence that you can keep living life on your own terms. Whether it's Oropronobis or one of its powerful substitutes, the important thing is to start now, not someday. Someday is when the things you love doing are already out of reach.